This is the London cable car, or the Emirates Airline, or the IFS Cloud, or whatever you want to call it. This cable car spans the River Thames from Greenwich Peninsula to Royal Victoria Dock. It was opened in 2012 and it was initially met with a lot of criticism as it serves an area that already has a bunch of other river crossings, with the Blackwall Tunnel and Jubilee Line, and also the Silvertown Tunnel in the near future. This resulted in the cable car, or the Emirates Airline as it was known at the time, becoming a joke in the London transport community, with most people seeing it as an unnecessary addition to the city made by then Mayor and future Prime Minister Boris Johnson. Londonist famously made fun of it in an April Fool's parody of its Secret series. However, the question that I will be answering in this video is, what use does this cable car have, and is it actually useful at all? One use this system possibly has is connecting two of London's largest entertainment venues, the O2 and XL. Both cable car stations are located within a walking distance of these two venues. However, so are North Greenwich Underground Station and Custom House and Prince Regent DLR stations. If you travel from North Greenwich to Royal Victoria by DLR and Tube with a change at Canning Town, you will be charged an off-peak fare of £1.60 compared to a £5 adult fare on the cable car, which does make the cable car rather uneconomical. Another use that this system possibly has is to allow tourists to see the sights of London from 90 metres high. This is further backed up with the addition of a so-called experience on the Greenwich Peninsula side. Whether you want to see exhibits from a software company is up to you. If you go to the TfL website, they boast about the amazing views that you can get from the cable car. I'd be surprised if any tourist would enjoy the views of Greenwich Peninsula, London City Airport, Canary Wharf, Silvertown or Industrial Docks. But hey, maybe that's just me. Despite the fact that the system is much cheaper than many of the other view attractions in London, it doesn't give the tourist the view of all the landmarks that they have come to London to see. For that, places like the London Eye or the Shard are better, as they are more centrally located. Of course, London's transport system was not built for tourists to marvel at or enthusiasts like me to loiter around. It was built to allow commuters to get from A to B in the fastest amount of time. This is where we ultimately answer the question that this video has all been about, to test whether the cable car does cut any time from your journey. I decided to time myself by travelling from a halfway point between one of the cable car stops and its nearby Tube or DLR station. First by using the DLR and Tube, second by just the cable car. Okay, so I have chosen this place as my halfway point between North Greenwich Tube Station and IFS Cloud Greenwich Peninsula. So we're going to start the timer now. So, I began by walking to North Greenwich Tube Station and headed one stop along the Jubilee Line to Canning Town, where I got confused on which DLR platform to go to and nearly missed my Beckton train. Fortunately, I made it and headed one stop along the line to Royal Victoria, which has now been covered in IFS Cloud branding to fit the cable car, and walked about halfway towards the Royal Dock Station. Stopping now. So we ended up with a total time of 18 minutes 5 seconds using the Jubilee Line and DLR. Now it's time to use the cable car. Okay, so I am now here at the Royal Dock Station, about halfway between it and Royal Victoria DLR. We're going to start the timer now. I then walked up to the Royal Dock Station, only to find that you have to queue to buy your tickets for the cable car, rather than just tap in. At this point, I knew that it would not be close. Eventually, I managed to buy my ticket and head through the barrier to get up to the boarding area. And I boarded a capsule, and after about 10 minutes of admiring the views of East London, we descended back down and arrived at Greenwich Peninsula. And then I walked back to the Tesco Express where I had started. So we're back where we started. The total time for the cable car, 24 minutes, 20 seconds. So, there you go. If you are a tourist looking for a cheap way to see London, then this is certainly for you. If you are someone who just wants a leisurely way of crossing the Thames for over £5, then go ahead. If you are a commuter, don't bother with the fares. They are too expensive and you'll have to queue for about 5 minutes minimum. So, is the cable car useful for commuting and getting to work? Well, the answer is no. Thanks for watching. See you soon.